to the DMV Roundtable podcast. I am your host, Jose Barreto, and with me here today is my boy, Nathan James. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you? Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm happy that you took the time to come join me here. That's awesome.
Happy you had me.
I know you're busy as hell, so anytime that I can get you away to come talk to me, that's great.
Yeah, I had to appeal my son off of me to get here. It was like, it's not 3. He knows. Mommy was saying, tell Daddy bye. And he was like, really?
So he's there with Laura?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a machine.
Okay.
She should be here. I wish she could be here, but she's too busy running business.
I know getting the two of you at the same time is almost impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with the child like that, it's really hard. But
yeah,
I'll get her here too.
Yeah,
and I'll talk with her also.
She's a little quiet, but she's very smart, and she'll teach people something.
She sure is. She sure is. Yeah, and at some point maybe we'll get the two of you, and then we'll get Nico in here too.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
It'll be.
I don't mind. I'm sure people get a kick out of that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Nate is the owner of Noble Athletics. So just out of curiosity, I just want to know a little bit about how you got started. And the first thing I want you, but before you get into Noble, I want to tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
About yourself, your wife, and everything else.
We grew up. I've known my wife since middle school, actually.
Since middle school,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I used to play
locally.
Yeah.
Where did you go to middle school?
Sterling Middle. So we went to Sterling Middle. She went to a nice little private school and elementary school.
Okay.
And then we met in Sterling Middle, and we were both kind of athletes and stuff, and friends, and middle school and through high school, and.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and people always were trying to actually set us up and stuff. And so it was kind of interesting looking back, being a little wiser, that maybe even some people saw something that we didn't even see. But we definitely had some chances, and I'm kind of glad in hindsight I ruined them. I have to take credit for that. Too many people know us. I can't lie about that. No, I ruined them, and I'm kind of glad I did, because we wouldn't be together, I don't think.
When did you guys finally start going out?
Yeah, let's see. So she was probably 08 or so.
08?
Yeah.
Okay.
She came up to visit from college, and we kind of reconnected.
So you'd known her that long, and you had never dated?
No.
Wow.
We got close, like literally 3 times. And, either she had a boyfriend, or I was running around doing stupid stuff or whatever. And, we...
But it wasn't stupid stuff, because you were always into sports, right? You were doing sports all the time, right?
It was just always sports, and I just couldn't quit hanging out with my friends, like, every free second I had.
Right.
And, always something was more important, and I would ruin things and have girlfriends when I should have been dating her. But again, I think we would have.
It worked out for the best.
We're 2 firecrackers, and I don't think we had the communication skills at a young age. I think we would have killed each other. So I think knowing what we know now and spent so much time together.
I really want to get her side of that story.
Oh yeah.
This whole story.
Yeah. No, I couldn't imagine. She's. We're yin and yang. We just fit so perfectly together. There's no one that could put up with my insanity and restlessness, and she keeps me calm. She means a lot to me.
Okay. And where did she go to college? You said
she went to JMU. So she did Nova for 2 years. She's so practical. She went to Nova for 2 years so she could work and save money. She knew the first 2 years didn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
But she could have gone to JMU or wherever. She, of course, had good grades. And
okay.
But yeah, then she went to JMU, which just so happened to be where all my friends were, and so that was no problem to go down every weekend and see her and get zero sleep.
So but you guys were close as friends, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys would hang out?
Yeah, we would hang out through mutual friends, and every now and then we would hang out and soccer stuff here and there and all that. She grew at the same house. Her her mom. She's one of our coaches as well. And
we call her Ma.
Ma, yes. Ma. They still live in the same house, so I still remember playing Halo with her older brother and watching her, walk around the house and being quite distracted and getting beat by her older brother in Halo and telling me to focus, and it worked out.
It worked out.
We get along now.
How many siblings does she have?
She just has one older
Just
brother.
the older
yeah.
brother. How about you? How many do you have? Any?
So I got a stepbrother, a stepsister, and a half brother.
And a half brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Me
right.
and my on my mom's side, so I have a brother there.
Okay.
He's in
Okay.
Texas. Yeah.
And you're half Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom is Puerto Rican, and my dad is as white as they come.
This is what I think. But you still have family in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So we still got a good amount of family in Puerto Rico, and we're going to be going there in May. So we had to cancel 3 trips. Of course, everybody has lived through this COVID era. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we're very excited to go and,
Oh,
and
I
take.
would love to go. Yeah.
You-
Can't wait
you-
to do the same.
Yeah, just pick a date. You know you can go.
Yeah, I know where we're going. I want to see my grandma. You know, my
Yeah.
grandma's getting older.
I,
So, you know,
I want my grandma to see my son. You know,
Yeah,
she's getting
that's
a little
important.
older. It's
So
the last
important.
grandparent I have.
Mhm.
You know.
Where in Puerto Rico?
They're in Guaynabo,
Mhm.
and you know, we always stay in like Catalina and
Yep,
stuff. Of
that's where I'm
course.
from, Catalina.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Okay.
So close to the airport.
Yeah, so close to the airport, close to San Juan, but not quite in San
Yeah.
Juan, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to be necessarily in Old San Juan, of
Right,
course.
right.
But you can get there in 20 minutes, whatever,
Right.
depending on traffic.
Yeah.
Um,
And now you've been married how long?
oh, geez, come on now.
I'm putting you on the
You know-
spot because you know Laura's gonna be watching.
She's got to be watching, but the thing that I have in my back pocket is she works so hard too, is that we forget our anniversaries.
So you guys-
we both forget.
Okay,
I literally don't. I think we got married in 2018.
something like that.
Yeah, and you know, we've just been in the businesses now for 9-10 years, and it's just been like, you know, there's nothing but success. We're just going to keep going until it works. And
Yeah.
we always say the only way to fail is to quit, and
That's right,
you know,
and it is so true.
we've missed so many vacations and family vacations.
The sacrifice of a business owner,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, when people say blood, sweat, and tears, you know, I don't think they normally literally mean it, but if you're bringing a business, your average young adult bringing a business from scratch and bootstrapping it and not having a bunch of money, and you know, we
Yep.
we learned a lot.
Yep. If you care and if you're determined to make it work, you have to work hard. I mean,
Yeah.
if, as a small business owner,
Yeah.
there's no other way, right?
No, it's long days. It's, you know, but you're working. You know, you're working for yourself. You're working towards your goals, of
Mhm.
course, right? So there just seems to be a little extra fire, right? Than when if you have to sit somewhere for 8 hours and you're getting paid time for money and things like that. But you know, for us, we figured out. We made the decision actually when we got together, or a couple of years after we got together, and we started talking about, well, what do we want to do? I mean, okay, you want kids, I want kids. You know, I grew up at my grandparents' house. My parents were working all the time. I was lucky enough to be able to do that
Right.
instead of a babysitter. But we just still felt that, you know, if we were going to do it, we wanted to spend time with our kids. Not to mention what daycare costs.
Right.
Anybody with kids knows that story.
Super expensive.
It's
yeah.
it's a mortgage.
It's crazy.
And-
It's crazy how high the expense for the childcare is.
It's, you know, and I'm not saying it's
But
not
you both
justified.
had you both wanted kids, and
Yeah, we both.
You
wanted
knew it would be a
kids.
commitment, I take it, because you're
Yeah.
going to go into this business ownership plus kids.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And I was a building engineer, facilities engineer, and Laura got out of college, and she's a finance major. She's a wizard with numbers, and she's one of the people that like enjoys them. She reads tax textbooks for fun.
For fun.
I always tell people, like, because that puts something in perspective. Like,
Right.
she literally, and tells me about it like I understand it.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, like, sure, baby. Hey, I know if she's excited, I know I should be excited.
Right,
'cause
right,
she's
right.
not easily excitable. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're good? Oh, we're good then. We're bad? Oh, that's not good. She'll let
that's
you know.
awesome. So tell me how Noble
Yeah.
got started, but take me like how you guys got into it.
Yeah.
What were you guys doing before this?
Skipping all around. Yeah, so
No. You're perfect.
I was, you know, after we both played soccer and stuff, and then I was playing semi-pro soccer. It always was a dream of mine.
Where at?
Northern Virginia Royals, which they don't exist anymore. They changed names and stuff. But
Okay.
a semi-pro team that would play against like DC United practice squad and stuff like that. So we would play against decent teams, and guys would get, it was a league to feed into. From there, you would kind of try to get onto an MLS practice squad, and then from a practice squad, you could at least make some money on a practice squad.
So there was a way to feed through the system.
And so I was just fighting my way through that system. But it was tough. All the guys were in college, so they didn't have jobs. And they just went to school for a couple hours and then slept, and then would practice with us we would have practice from 8 to 10:30 at night. But I'm having to wake up at 4:30 to be at work at 6, and then so there was some sacrifices that had to be made. There was also a dislocated knee mixed in there.
Oh wow.
I was 225 playing center mid.
225 playing center mid.
Yeah, for soccer, so it was too heavy on the knees. The speed and stuff like that was not a problem. It was the injury. It's just you can't be that heavy and move that quick, and you can, but you're risking.
How did you hurt it? Did you come down?
Guy. It was kind of a catastrophic style injury, as in it wasn't a ton I could do about it. A guy side tackled me from behind, which if you watch soccer, know is very illegal. Because you can't really protect yourself. And I saw him at the last second, and I was able to kind of awkwardly hop out of the way and land. I landed on the leg with it locked out, and it just buckled really grossly. And ACL, MCL, the whole nine. And so,
how old were you at this time?
Jesus. So that had to be
early
20s, yeah. And so it kind of led us to where we are now. It made me. It altered my life to where the most fun I ever have is just like in my flow state is on a field or on a court. Much better on the field than the basketball court. But
you're pretty good in the basketball court, I can tell you that.
Thank you. I work hard, but.
I come home all beat up every time we play. So every time we guard each other, I come home really beat up.
Let me tell you about Jose. His false modesty right here. This guy is tough, and he will throw his shoulders square in this area.
Have to. You're like Iron Man, dude. Hell, I gotta bend you up somehow.
No, we play. If you guys don't know, we play every Thursday night. Jose is nice enough to he rents a court, and we all go play, and we have a great time.
We have a great time. Every Thursday night we just get lost in
that
court. It's awesome.
What time is it? It's been an hour and a half.
We gotta go.
Not that we're tired by then, but it's like an hour and a half. As soon as the game ends, Jose is in charge, let me tell you. Okay? Escúchame. When the game ends, he's like, who's up next? All right, let's start. Check.
Let's go. And then it takes us 2 days to recover.
It
takes me 2 days to recover at least. I know you not as much, but anyway, go ahead. So you were saying?
So, anyways, so that injury really led to us just learning about was this really preventable, and it turns out in a lot of ways it is, or not taking my example, but ACLs and supraspinatus injuries are the most common injuries that people have. And you start looking at like, well, of course they're not all preventable, but with it being so common, what are we doing now to change that? If you look at this spike that it is, right? So what's changing? Well, some common things. It could be a whole podcast about this, but we sit all the time, right? It's just like we sit in the car, we sleep on super soft beds.
I don't mind getting into it, man. I mean, we'll be here as long as we need to. We're trying to give people info. We're trying to trust me, people like this stuff, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just the way we live, and it's sitting mostly. And of course, as everyone knows, general inactivity that we live, and when we're sitting and the hamstrings are getting short means tight, and then when they're short and tight, and then we start having issues, then we have little hamstring pulls, then we have scar tissue, and then now we're not getting proper blood flow, and then now you have no activation through your glutes and hamstrings, and we're talking about some of the most important and explosive muscles in your body, and then, all that has happened, and now you're in your late 20s, and you realize you put on some weight, you want to start doing what you used to do to lose weight, which is play some pickup basketball and maybe go for a run, but now you're going for a run and you have no hamstrings and
Right.
you're running incorrectly and then you're 40 pounds overweight and you're beating up your knees so it just creates this cycle for people that then it just creates, I feel like that, exercise bad.
And a lot of people are in that.
Yeah, and it's just lack of knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exercise is not bad. Our bodies, we're just mammals, and we are absolutely built to work. We're built to work every day. We're built to carry things. We're built to, pick things up, and we're going to be off balance, and we're going to, so just like our training at the gym, just getting more into that we always called it functional, and then I really feel like we're taking it to another level now, just doing even more off-balance things and single leg this and that, and throws and rotational and anti-rotational and anti-flexion, and how many different ways can we try to prepare you and actually make it functional training? Because
Got it.
everything we do bilaterally, which is 2 hands on a barbell or just 2 feet on the ground, is not always super realistic. And
so now, so when you rehab your injury, was it at that point when you realized that you wanted to do something in this field?
Yeah, that was
sort of
a starting point for sure. The wheels started turning for sure.
Okay.
I always was into working out and training and stuff like that, but then I was a building engineer as well, and that was paying the bills. But of course, it was mostly just a job. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but then you think, do I want to do this like forever?
Right.
I would talk to my dad on the phone, who my grandfather was a building engineer in some degree, and my dad is, and he's moved way up and doing all corporate stuff now. And I just felt like I was on the same path, and it was a great, respectable path. But I remember my first day, actually, I was like, this is great, but this isn't forever.
This is not for you. And that's okay. It's perfectly fine. I mean, it's...
I did it for 8-9 years,
and
I was good at it and stuff. But, like you do now, there's a lightness to you because you love what you do.
Something sparks in you.
There's a freedom, there's a whatever. We still, 10 years into our business, don't make what we did before we quit our jobs.
Yeah, when you had your jobs. Okay.
And I think most people just couldn't deal with 10 years of sacrifice and not making a ton of money, but living in the most expensive county in the United
Most people
States,
will give up way before that.
Yeah. And I honestly, I don't even blame them. It's been 5 times harder than I thought, and I thought I overestimated it.
Yeah.
But I got a hell of a partner, and we lean on each other.
So was it the same for Laura? Like, was she sort of in the same space where she was like, I'm doing this, but I would rather do...
Yeah, I can be convincing at times.
So it took some convincing on your end.
So she's smart. She had got her full bachelor's in finance. She's great at what she does. She got entry-level job kind of being an assistant property manager, so then we're kind of in the same world, and that was working great. Then she gets another job at another place. She doubles her salary, basically, like so many people do, hopping around. And then I'm telling her, if you don't quit this job, I had just quit on my birthday. Once we had the gyms open, they were open for like, I don't know, a year or something. And don't get me wrong, they weren't doing great, but we were covering bills.
Okay.
And I was like, first step, I'm quitting. And she was like, what? And I was like, if we don't double down, like we're just working I'll go do the morning class, work for 9 hours, and then come back, coach every class in the evening, and then go home. We had the Noble Nutrition. We had our supplement company. We were even doing some Amway stuff at the time still. I mean, we were like hustling to survive and try to make it on our own, And so for her to leave that job that was paying well, benefits.
Wow. That's a guts.
But, we've bet on ourselves.
Yeah.
But
did she feel sort of the same way you did about her job, that she didn't want to do that? And
she was happy.
She was happy. She liked it. Okay.
She was just fine and making just fine money.
Okay.
And it almost brings tears to her eyes when we talk about it. Probably a year ago, we were talking about she loved her boss. She had a very nice boss. The guy bought me like an $80 bottle of Glenlivet. I never even met him.
Oh. Wow.
I talked to him on speakerphone one time.
Okay.
You know, just a great place. She was working for CBRE.
Oh, that's a great company.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
a great
And
company.
Tyson's,
Yeah.
but way before COVID and stuff. So commercial real estate was.
Yeah.
They were putting basketball courts on the top of the parking garages and stuff. I mean, they were just. It was a great place to work.
Yeah, it's a really good company.
Unlike Jones Lang LaSalle, where I was.
That's where you were. Yeah.
No love lost.
Okay. So she was not.
Yeah, no, she wasn't on board. So anyways, you know, it just took some convincing. It's a lot of books. You know, I didn't learn traditionally. School was terrible for me. I went to school just to play soccer and stuff. I have to learn on my own terms. It's the ADD, ADHD. It's, you know, so like I like to listen to my books. It's tough for me to sit and flip pages. I listen to the book and I clean and work while I do it, and then I listen to the book again. Like, you know, it's helped me, you know, find what works for you. I think I have like 120 books now I've digested on my Audible, and the knowledge I've gained. You know, they say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
That's right.
And I spend the most time with Tim Ferriss, with, you know, all those podcasts and those books. And people say that you can't find, you know, what do you mean? How do I find 4 or 5 other successful people? Listen to the podcast. There's so much content.
You can easily find.
You can and you can just find it too.
Yeah.
Go with Real Husbands of Loudoun County and go to some events. Go to a BNI.
Just go meet people. Go meet people.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
So much antisocial now.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. If you're social, you'll meet people.
Smile. Learn how to smile. Make some eye contact and a half decent handshake. Or nowadays, especially, gets you pretty far.
It gets you pretty far. They know
Be
you're
surprised.
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right. So now you're in. You're in it 100%.
So
there is no turning back anymore. So go ahead.
Yeah, I've convinced her to quit at this point. She's ready to kill me, but I think I've dumped enough information down her throat and been persistent enough.
Right.
And so now what I didn't realize at the time, knew she was efficient, effective, and but what I did was I opened up the beast. I gaslighted her. I greenlit her. She's ready to go. So she's like, okay, it's all up to us now. And that was awesome to have.
It's a great partnership.
Oh my God, we didn't know it was that good of a partnership. You know, I'm a little riskier, and she pulls me down to earth, and sometimes I pull her up, and you know.
But that's good. That's what a good partnership is, right?
Exactly.
Just kind of.
If it was 2 of me,
elevating each other,
we would have.
as you go.
Yeah, if it was 2 me's, it would have been a huge problem. 2 hers would also have been a huge problem. Right. You know, and computer stuff, back end stuff, finance stuff. It just kills me. That beautiful Apple laptop you have there, I was all pissed. They're just so shiny and beautiful. I had to have one.
You had to have.
And so I finally convinced her to get me one. I can't even lie. I opened it like 4 times. I haven't opened it in like a year.
Oh my God.
I just, damn, man.
She didn't kill you?
Oh, I know she stays up at night just gonna smother me for making me buy her that, or her buy me that laptop. But
awesome.
You know, whatever.
All right, so you're now year 1 into it. How long did it take for you guys to hit that mark where you were like, okay, you know, we may not be there yet, but we like really see the light at the end of the tunnel?
So we had like the 2 right away.
You opened in 2013, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Early, it was like really early February 2013.
And that was just the first location. That was the one in Sterling.
Yeah, okay. Very first location, 2,200 square feet or so. Terrible layout. The floor, we're dropping weights in this old building, and the floor is just sinking with it. And the main water line comes through our property, our suite, and we're worried about that's gonna break. And but because of that, we got super cheap rent.
Okay.
So that's how we made it. Okay. So there's sacrifices, right?
Okay.
We negotiated because of our knowledge and property management and stuff. We're able to negotiate a super sweet deal with the company that was selling, and they just wanted to show that they had tenants, right?
Okay.
So we got really lucky with that, but then they were like, you get no, we're not going to help you build it out. We're not going to. So I would work all day and then work in there till midnight. And because once you sign the lease, like rent's due at the end of that month.
Yep, it's running.
We got some months free, but yeah, the clock has started.
Yeah,
and no one cares.
They want the money when it's due. Yep.
Yeah, you signed a 3-year lease, like it's coming.
Yep.
So you start to really learn how to bet on yourself, and no one's gonna be there. That's something my dad always talked to me about. Was like, no one, even me. I got my own problems too. Like he told me as a kid, he's like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to know, and that was a good lesson in that. And
sure.
Even he, my dad helps me with everything, and I couldn't be more thankful. But even he couldn't help me every night. We're doing everything from painting and changing lights and changing light switches and blah blah blah. The place was a wreck. And,
right.
So anyway, we just were chipping away, and once we could pay bills, then we were good with that, and we just went from there. And I think the next big step we took around year 3, we got a mentor.
Okay.
So it kind of dropped in our lap.
Mentor from where?
I was going to say, I don't even remember. He came, Chu, he came from, some friend of a friend.
Friend of a friend.
it was a blessing, though. It was an awesome dude. Shout out Chu.
Okay.
And I think we knew a decent amount. We're going in the right direction. And we took a risk on taking this mentor. We didn't have a ton of extra money and stuff, but if you're trying to do something and the truth is you don't really know what you're doing, or you're only a few years in, and you have a guy or whatever, a mentor in front of you that's done it with like 3 different companies, trust me, he knows or she knows more than you know. And you're an absolute fool if you don't.
You have to pay. You will listen. Yeah, you should listen. Yeah. Okay.
So, that was one of the biggest risks for the time that we took for the amount of money that he cost a month.
Right.
I remember, and we were just about actually to turn him down, and he called me and he said, "Listen to me." He said, "If I don't make what you're going to have to pay me this month, if I don't make that for you in this first month, we'll just screw the whole thing."
Okay.
I was like,
wow, that's a great deal.
yeah. I said, well, hell, I can't pass that up.
Right.
And I said, okay. And we went, that minute we went to work, he just started firing off. We're going here, text this, we're going to do this, you're going to post this, and you just have to be a sponge,
Right.
And I think that, I learned a lot from you, and we talk real estate stuff and everything, and you have to take in.
You have to take it. Yeah.
That Bruce Lee approach, right? Bruce Lee didn't just do one thing. He learned a little bit. Take the good, take the good, take the good. And we worked with Chu for a while, and he.
So you saw the.
I think it was like a year and a half or so. We worked with him, and it was a couple days a week. We would meet, and there's one thing to be coached, like we're saying, but we really took in we took notes. We took, all the things that I wish people would do when I talked with them and stuff. We took notes. We recorded the meetings. We did, stuff like that. And so I feel like we really squeezed every drop out. And that helped. And he taught me a lot about how to mentor and stuff. And we just took it from there. It just grew from there. And once we got out of that first spot and got into the new spot,
which is where you are now.
Yeah, which is where we are now for our Sterling location. And
was it always that big? Was it always that size?
Yeah.
When you went there, you took that entire space.
So we doubled in size, like 5,000 or 50.
Now, at the time, were you a CrossFit affiliate, or were you?
At the time, we were a CrossFit affiliate.
Because I know you're not anymore, but at the time you were, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe our Sterling location still is. But we just really don't train like that anymore.
Which is, I want to get into that a little bit more because I want to, So let's segue into that. I'm new to the world of functional fitness, right? I want to get in shape, and we're talking to people who are probably in their 30s and 40s, maybe even in their 50s, who are like, I've had enough. I need to get, my knees are hurting, my back is hurting.
They can't take it anymore.
My weight is too big, my joint, whatever the case may be. There's tons of reasons why people decide I need to do something about this, right? Tell me about your Noble? Like, what's
Yeah.
if the functional fitness approach? How can you help people like that?
Yeah, for us, we offer a lot of different stuff. We offer the group classes, we offer personal training, barbell club, sports performance for like kids and stuff like that for their sport. But, so if we speak generally, probably someone that's looking for a class and this and that, the biggest hurdle that even before they contact us is they're intimidated.
Right.
They think.
You're right. That's the first thing. Is
Yeah.
They're intimidated. They think that they've seen CrossFitters
Yeah.
on TV or functional fitness people on TV,
Yeah.
and they're like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. And we scale for everyone. We make individualized programs. We give people homework.
Bring it down. What's scaling? Tell people what's
yeah,
because
so-
that's our term that we typically use.
Yeah.
But let's just.
So take something just like a barbell front squat.
Mhm.
Bars on your chest. Essentially, you're doing a
Mhm.
front squat, right?
You're going to go down to the
Yeah.
ground and come back
all the
up.
way down, all the way up. You don't have to press or anything. So if that's difficult to you, which is very common, because we're always hunched over because we're always on our phones. We do so much accessory work now, just pulling shoulders back, working on posture. So people can't front rack. And
Right.
then
I can't front rack the shoulder. Actually, when I first started, I couldn't. I could not believe that I
Yeah.
couldn't do this movement
Yeah.
and have the bar laying on here. How
Yeah.
much it hurt. My elbows literally were pointing down,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get them all the way around.
Yeah, people tend, I've noticed, having done this for a long time, people tend to just not realize how bad they've gotten.
Yeah.
We just, our society, we just work and, I can't say I don't, but you gotta focus on that. And so anyway, their hamstrings are tight, their upper back's tight, they can't front squat. Okay, so then we go to a goblet squat. Maybe we just hold like a little kettlebell.
That's
in
a
front.
scale down.
Right. Yeah, so that's
Scaling
one
down.
scale down.
Mhm.
Let's say that's still not going to work. Then we go to just a bodyweight squat. Okay, that still doesn't work. Then we'll sit, like I ask people, do you stand up out of chairs? And they go, well, yeah. I'm like, cool. That's our squat. You want to talk functional?
start
That's
there.
functional.
Okay.
And I literally will put a bench behind them. You sit on the bench. You stand up.
Mhm.
You sit. So we got 70-year-olds. We got 9-year-olds. We got lifting weights is great for both of those. There's a
Mhm.
lot of misconceptions about that as well. The long short of that is that if you do it incorrectly, it's bad for anyone at any age.
Right. That's
you
true.
do it
Yeah.
correctly, it's just fine.
Yeah.
You can't tell my son the other day, he's 14
I envy
months,
his squat, by
15
the
months.
way.
Oh, that's
I've
squat.
seen him just like
And he's barefoot.
chilling, squatting, just like.
He's picking up yesterday. He's picking up cantaloupes and he's putting it over his shoulder and he's walking with it. He's holding on one side. He's holding on the other side. He's just playing, but that's great stuff.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Think about a front-loaded carry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we haven't evolved that far in the last couple thousand years. Like front-load carry. Well, I'm building my house. I'm bringing food back to my home.
Mhm.
These are so fun. Or holding a heavy weight here while I'm holding
Yeah.
whatever here, and I'm walking back and you're walking and you're
Yeah.
off balance and the ground is off because you're outside.
Yeah.
All these factors that we get into a gym and we go like your hand goes here and your hand, and everything is perfectly symmetrical. And so, we're trying to get to more. Having a 70-year-old woman who has a bunch of thoracic extension issues, a replaced shoulder, a bad knee, and a bad hip, she doesn't need to be doing squat snatches.
Right.
We need to get her to a functionality of being able to do squat snatches.
Right.
But, a lot of CrossFit gyms, day one, are kind of like, let's see that overhead squat, or
Right.
sometimes we do that as a FMS screening just to see mobility issues, but I think it's important.
Not in a workout,
But
especially
not in
if you
a
haven't
workout,
done
yeah,
it or if you're
exactly.
new to it. And I think it's a great point because the fear of some people is
Yeah.
not unfounded. It's they've
No,
been to the
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
gym. They've been told to do this and these movements that are
Mhm.
foreign to them. Number one, number two, they haven't been doing
Mhm.
anything for a while. So
Some of them, honestly, I talk with people that have never exercised in their entire lives.
yeah, they come in.
Yeah. And sometimes those are the best, though, because they don't have any bad habits.
Right, that's true.
Sometimes we get early 40s.
But as long as you take it easy with them.
Well, yeah,
and take them, you know, and let them know the expectation is, you know, temper their expectations. Say, you're not going to be great next week.
Yeah.
We're going to go from here to here.
Yeah.
And get you to where you want to be.
Yeah, managing expectations is something I talk about with our coaches a lot lately. Is you know, we don't want to oversell essentially our program. Someone who's only going to make it 2 or 3 days a week, and let's say they're not going to do our nutrition program, and they're not, you know, like they're going to make progress. Absolutely, we're going to make sure of that. But it's going to, you know, you're going to get in what you put out. You can only make it 1 to 3 times. If you're not sleeping, you're not eating, and you don't like water, you know, all these things are going to factor in. You're not doing recovery and stretching at home. You know, another big thing we talk about is like, why can't we move every day? Mm-hmm. You know, there's so much of like, I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or today's back day, then tomorrow's you know, like, why can't we just every day, do something.
Yeah, something.
You don't have to do a 10 by 10 back squat at 80% or something every day. But some days it's like a little jog. I get loose. I do my connective tissue work, my knee and hip
mobility
work.
Stuff like you're stretching and then you're rolling and stuff like that. Yeah. You could do that as
do
30
that for
minutes.
an hour.
Yeah, or for an hour. Yeah,
why not? Yeah. And your body will thank you. Your mind will thank you. Mm-hmm. You know, that should be an active rest day routine. A rest day to me should mean I got loose and I did my mobility and my recovery work. So now the next day when I come in, I'm ready to kill.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it's just we treat our gyms like everyone in that gym is like on our team. Mm-hmm. You know, and I need the whole team to get better.
That's good. That's a good approach.
Yeah.
That's a really good approach. And one thing that I did notice, and I was going to touch on that, is that even though your classes are technically group classes, mm-hmm. I always felt, and most of my classes, I haven't had one with you yet. Most of my classes I've been with Laura.
Yeah.
I think I've had one with Trey and a couple with Ashley, but I feel like I'm always watched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm getting some personal one-on-one, even though it's a group class. And then I turn around like, she's spending an awful lot of time with me. But then I realized she's doing it with everybody. Mm-hmm. It's a skill that you guys. I don't know how you guys are doing it, but it really works. You're in the class, but you also feel like you're being helped individually, which is great.
Yeah, we talk about touch points a lot, and we talk about compliment or correction. Mm-hmm. So people will assume, if you say nothing, the average person assumes that they're doing it wrong. They have a negative connotation around whatever they're doing, their lack of confidence, whatever it may be. But most people, if you say nothing, they'll assume you're doing it wrong. So we talk about compliment or correction. Either, did it look great? Great. So, you know, Jose, that looked great. Great mm-hmm. squat. Keep working on that. Did it need some help? Let them know. Hey, that's good, but let's focus on, you know, keeping your weight distribution through your feet a little more even, and make sure those toes are working, and, you know, whatever it may be.
Okay.
But, you know, it's just feedback, and that's what people really want. That's what people really
they need to know that they're doing it correctly, right? And that they're progressing because they're there for a reason. Why are they there? Because they want to improve, right? I've never heard of anybody walk into a gym like yours and say, hey, you know, I'm just here just because I want to throw money away. No, they want to get better. Something's wrong, and they want to get better.
And that was a big thing. My wife and I spent many years at LA Fitnesses and Gold's gyms, and that's great. And, but we would see, and I know you've been in them, and you would see the same people for years mm-hmm. come at the same time, same days, and look the same, and do a lot of times the same movements, and they never make progress, right? But they still spend money every month. They still, and that was the thing for us was when you come to us, you're going to have every tool you need to be successful here.
Okay.
To reach your goals, to whatever. And, you know, we can't make you reach your goals, but we have everything here for you, right? And that's a big thing for us. From warm-ups to workouts to recoveries to long-term plannings to I want to get my pull-up, which is a huge one for people.
I want to get my muscle up.
Yeah.
My gosh, dude, I've tried for years. I can't get a muscle up.
We'll work on some stuff. Every day, do your kips.
Yeah, that's
like 15.
You know, honestly, for me, it's my hands. You know, the grip is just, you know, I can't hang that long. Plus, I'm a little overweight, so I got to lose some weight. Lose some weight so that I
Strength to
can,
weight ratio.
so that I can, yeah, exactly. Obviously, the less you weigh, the easier it is for you to hang out.
Yeah,
So.
Coach Dre was a good example of that.
Oh my gosh, Coach Dre.
He's a monster on the gymnastics.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, what if he tried?
What if he tried?
What if he tried? Wow. What if he ate food?
Oh, he's hilarious. Oh my God.
He's a machine.
He's
I
a
love
machine.
him. Best friend.
But yeah, so okay, great. So tell me a little bit. You touched on you have the nutrition program.
Mm-hmm.
What is that about?
Yeah, so our nutrition, we're trying to make real long-term life changes. So these are not crash diets. These are not. We're trying to teach you, just like in the exercise stuff. I want to teach you how to move, from how to walk to how to run to how to squat to how to pick things up safely. You need to do the same thing with food.
Okay.
Food is generally broken down into 3 macronutrients: fat, carbs, and protein.
Right.
So we take that macronutrient approach, and there's a lot of stuff you'll find online, and people can do some research and stuff. But
there's so much online that is confusing.
It's actually there's too much.
There's actually too much. It's confusing.
Too many opinions and stuff.
Oh, intermittent fast. Oh,
Yeah.
Eat 6 meals a day. Oh, don't eat carbs. Oh, don't eat. It's so confusing sometimes.
And some of it is fine, what works for you. Some of it, people go, that doesn't work for me. And sometimes that's true. There are different body types, and some people, like, we find issues with people who, when they were kids, that they were overweight.
Mm-hmm.
And for the rest of their life, it just becomes easier then for them to gain weight, especially. Then those people are carb intolerant and stuff like that. So if they're drinking sodas, sugar is just carbohydrates, and just ingesting too many carbs and stuff, then they're going to just gain weight pretty easily.
Right.
Usually. So we just find ways. Basically, it says that at the end of the day, you can eat essentially whatever you want. Some things are more calorie dense than others and stuff. At the end of the day, as long as you end up within, I think Laura said, it has them at 1 to 3 grams for fat, carbs, and protein, we're going to be pretty good.
Within 1 or 3 grams of your target.
Of your target.
Your
So
target.
everyone will have their own target based on age, goals, how they ate before, because we have a lot of damaged metabolisms.
Mm-hmm.
The general consensus is that people eat less. I want to eat less so I lose weight, right?
Right.
Which in some ways can be true, right? Of course, but people, their stomach shrinks, and then they just keep taking this, and then I'm eating less. Oh, cool, and then I'm spending less money too, and they think that there's a positive cycle to it, but you need to feed the machine. You want to make the machine bigger and feed it, and then make it bigger and make it need more coal and more,
Yeah.
And Laura, if I don't watch, she tracks. She has over, for everyone listening, over 3,000 days in a row tracked on MyFitnessPal.
In a row?
In a row.
3,000
Over 3,000 now.
What?
Like 3,000, a couple hundred now, I think.
What? Like 8-9 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's not a game. She will crush. We started doing Duolingo. I was like 2 months ahead of her. She's over doubled my score.
Man, 365 days is a lot
in
a row.
Over 3,000.
Wow.
And so, it's just a testament of what's possible.
Yeah.
You think she's not busy?
No, I know she's
right?
busy. I know she's busy. She's a badass, dude.
Oh, yeah. And it's just people, and I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm busy. Everybody's busy.
Yeah, of course.
And so the problem with that is that we can't take that excuse anymore.
Right.
And then, you're busy usually doing things for the ones you love. I can't, because I have 3 kids and they all play sports, and we always get that, of course, having a son now, but you have to put your mask on first, as they say.
You do have to help yourself too. Yeah.
If you don't make, and it's not just physical, it's mental.
Right.
We have a lot of moms in both gyms. I spend a lot of time in Purcellville. A lot of moms in Purcellville with, some of them out there got 6 kids and stuff, and they haven't been alone in I don't know how long, and so they come to the gym. I mean, they're not alone at the gym, but they're without their kids, of course, which feels alone. And I call it adult recess. There's not one adult that I know that doesn't deserve an hour a day,
little bit of time for themselves,
or at least carve out 3 or 4 hours a week. A few training days a week. It's not just it's not just physical. It's as important as the physical is. It's not
Right.
just physical. And it will allow you, in many cases, to be a better spouse, a
Right.
better parent, a
Yeah,
better
it'll make you happier.
co-worker.
You get better. You get better
Yeah.
physically. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna be in a better mood.
You're gonna sleep better.
Yeah, you're gonna sleep better.
You're,
Everything.
everybody talks about anxiety, and then I'm not free from it, and almost everybody has some anxiety, but a lot of that is, you have anxiety. Okay, are you doing everything you can do before you take medications and stuff? How are you eating?
Right.
How are you sleeping?
Yep.
Are you exercising? Are
Yep.
you drinking water, or are you just drinking soda and alcohol? Are you drinking alcohol every night before you go to bed, so you're actually not sleeping well, and then you're not recovering, and then so start, and all these habits don't happen overnight. During high school, growing up, even a couple of years after high school, I was trying to be big and bulky. We ate fast food, we ate pizza, we ate.
Right.
But you start building. You cut the sodas. There's no
little by little.
Yeah.
You can't do everything at once.
No, I drank soda. We're talking many years ago, but I drank sodas. It's gone. I haven't had a soda in years and years. Not even a rum and Coke. I just don't need it, and I don't need the diet one either with the aspartame and all this and that. And I don't go over top. Not everything we eat is organic, and not everything, But you just start making little changes. As long as you consistently make little changes, I'm talking for us, it's like the last 12 years. As far as I know, that time would have passed anyways.
Right.
So
might as well pass with good habits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about water and sleep. How important are those two components? Because I think they get overlooked.
Yeah, they get overlooked a ton.
Yeah.
Sleep is usually the first thing to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're up early with kids, or up early just for work, or up early with school. And up early is fine, but what time did you go to bed?
Right.
And I'll be the first time I'm guilty of it too. When you work a long day, you then are not super excited to get in bed 30 minutes after you get home from work and read a book and take 30 deep breaths and go to sleep. Like Wim Hof, get out of here.
Yeah.
The Iceman.
Not to mention that it's impossible for us after a basketball night.
Oh yeah. We get home at 10:45 or whatever on a basketball night, and they're like, I got to shower. I got to eat second dinner because I can't let my wife out eat me. And that's what I was getting at, is the reverse engineer. Like, Laura has worked her metabolism to be so efficient, so fast that she eats.
I'm still trying to process the whole 30,000
day.
My
but not only 3,000 days. It's 3,000 days where she's hit her numbers. She doesn't not hit her numbers. Promise.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But
I need her discipline.
Oh my God! And that's what it is. It's consistency. Yeah. It's discipline. The gym, you're gonna have bad weeks. Your sleep, we're talking about sleep. You're gonna have bad days, bad nights. But you take a breath and you try again the next day. You don't give up.
Yeah.
And so back to the sleep is like, again, are you doing? And at this point, I think it's obvious. The obvious things to make yourself as likely to win, right?
Right.
Are you laying in bed, quote unquote, trying to fall asleep, but you're watching NBA on your phone?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Again.
You got me again.
The best thing that ever happened about that, the best thing that ever happened to me was that the NBA channel is now doing recaps of the game.
Yeah.
And it's in 10 minutes. You could watch a game.
It's on YouTube.
I've been watching a lot of those. Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I mean, on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've been watching now, because I can't watch that much basketball.
So there's 8 games a day, 10 minutes a game.
That's an hour and 20, an hour and a half that I'm going to spend just watching.
Not counting commercials. So you have to set yourself up for victory. Start having a little night routine. Mm-hmm. Something I've been trying to work on. Again, this is a new one, but let's call it a goal for me.
Right.
I'm trying to have a little bit of self-reflection before bed, not blue light, meaning no TV, no phone, at least like 30 minutes maybe before I can go to bed.
That's important.
Yeah, and they have glasses you can wear and stuff like that, but it's also the stimulation. We're so used to being stimulated. Mm-hmm. Think if you had, back in the day, no radio, no TV, no phone.
Yeah, there were no blue lights at night.
No,
it was just pitch dark.
Imagine if when you came home from work and then it was dark an hour later and all you were doing was talking to each other. Maybe you would entertain yourself with a board game. It's not going to be a problem to go to bed at 8:30, 9:30.
Not at all. That's super easy.
Exactly.
It's super easy.
We distract ourselves, and that's kind of the world we live in and stuff. But you play. Everybody's heard of the little games you can play with social media. Take it off your phone. Put limits on it, time limits. Have some self-control. And if you can do that stuff, I think little things on that make such a big difference.
I think little things is what does it. If you try too much too fast, it's almost a recipe for failure.
So what I did actually to give people an example is, I have like one night I have soccer games on Mondays, Thursday basketball with you. So Tuesday, Wednesday are my reading nights.
Tuesday.
I go to bed when Laura goes to bed, which is earlier than me. But I go with her. I got my reading light, and those are my reading nights. And I'm reading some training books and stuff like that. Things that interest me. It's not just try to bore myself to sleep. I mean, I love to learn and
there's so much interesting stuff to read.
Jeez, there's so much.
I do mine in the car. Audiobooks. That's what I do.
And that's what I do too.
I spend so much time in my car.
On the way here, I was trying to dial in, listening to some audiobooks.
Podcasts are great too.
Yeah.
Podcasts have great information if you get the right one. I mean, they're not all great, but there are some that are really good.
Yeah, and you find what works for you, and everybody, a lot of people have these goals and stuff. There's probably a podcast about whatever your goals or whatever you're interested in.
For sure.
Somebody's talking.
A podcast and a book.
Yeah, and 30 books.
Exactly.
And start digesting them. What do you have to lose?
Exactly.
A lot of those books, when you listen to them on Audible, are like, 8, of course it depends on the book, but 8 to 12 hours.
8 hours is about an average, and long one is 20, but I mean,
some of my history books I listen to are
there are some that are long, but 10 hours, I mean it.
But then you listen to it on like 1.4, 1.5 speed.
Yeah, I always do that too, by the way. Like, if people don't know, you should try that. Speed them up, because the dialogue is so slow on most of them. You don't, but if you speed it up, you catch everything, and you can go through a book a lot quicker. You do that too.
Audible lets you go up by tenths every time, and so people tend to freak out. But just go up by 1/10 every time, and every book's different. Sometimes the person reading it is reading a little faster.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody's different, but find your speed, but try to speed it up. That way you go through more content quicker.
Absolutely.
I love Audible. I actually have the recurrent purchase automatic. So every month he buys a credit. I look at him as credit. I have how many credits? I have like 6 or 7 credits. Buy. Yeah, buy 3. Put them on my queue, and then just don't think about it. Anytime I have a road trip or anything like that, I just plug one in. So good.
And then talking about water. My biggest thing for water, I tell people is, you look a little silly, but if you can get some sort of big jug or whatever, it's all about progress and gamifying things. And you see these jugs now,
making it easy.
And gallon jug, and it's like, try to beat that through this by noon, and try. You can set little goals and gamify it, challenge yourself, do something, but not.
How much water should we be drinking?
There's some more arguable stuff. It's going to depend on. Oh no, we need more than that.
More than that.
Yeah, we're coming up on like 3 liters. Yeah, a lot of people.
I'm definitely not hitting my quota, man.
No, a big grown man like you might be approaching a gallon, especially on a basketball night.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But then you got to watch sodium too. So some people will, start the water thing a little, go from 0 to hero, and then you got to monitor, or if you have a way to monitor it, but pay attention to your sodium intake. You need some sodium to hold nutrients in your muscles, right? You don't want to quote unquote wash out your muscles. Drinking so much water, too much water is bad, and all that good stuff. So you do need to hold on to some, and make sure you're taking your multivitamins and all that great stuff.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that the juices taste good, but again, they're largely just sugar with more sugar added, depending on what juice you're getting. But the vast majority of them, people don't realize, is it's a fruit juice, fruit is sugar, and then they add concentrated sugar to the sugar. Mix it all up.
A bunch of sugar. Sugar on top of sugar.
Liquid sugar, and you just pour it in your face.
Oh my God.
Diabetes.
Yeah. All right, so tell me about, you also have a couple of other services that you offer. You have PT, physical therapy,
Yep.
and which I personally can recommend it. I've done it with Dre, and he's awesome. Dre's freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you also have a chiropractor on location, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about both of those.
So it's not, we can't technically say it's physical therapy, but largely it is.
Right.
That's the bridge that we
Call it
yeah.
Helping you get over your.
It's physical therapy. We can't bill it.
You
as
can't bill it
physical
that way. Yeah,
therapy,
I got you.
Disclaimer.
But what he does,
It's magic.
It's magic. Yeah.
It's that was so we opened up Optimized Sports and Family Wellness Center, right? So it's the complement to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
We were finding that we couldn't make the progress that everyone wanted, the individual and us wanted, because you want to put some muscle on your upper body, but you can't get your arms over your head.
Right.
So I can't safely say, sure, yeah, we got to start pressing and we're going to start benching. It's going to set you up for failure.
Right.
So having this piece, we opened October, November last year, 2021, and with Dr. Will, partnered up with him, me and Laura, and it's been a great partnership.
Who is phenomenal. I've also used him. He's really good. Really good. The needling stuff is just. Ugh.
Oh yeah, the dry needling, Graston,
It's awesome.
Cupping,
cupping,
his manual manipulation,
Yep.
and then now the shockwave therapy that we have
is that has that started already?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Have you done it?
Oh yeah. It's like magic.
You're the guinea pig. You love being the guinea pig for all this stuff, don't
he's
you?
He's like, come here, I want to try something.
I love it. That's great.
The shockwave is nice, and it just beats up scar tissue and stuff, which we all seem to have, and it's not painful at all, which everyone associates like chiropractor, dry needling, these things with pain, and he's good at what he does. He mentors other chiropractors and stuff, and we're excited to bring on other good chiropractors.
It's so great to have it there, for people, who need it. It's inside the gym. You built an office inside the Sterling one. Do you have one in? I've never been to your Purcellville location. Do you have also a location?
Basically the same thing.
Okay. That's great.
It couldn't be any better. It's like you said.
It's a great complement to the functional fitness stuff that you guys do.
Yeah, and he does what we do. He does what we do, and he can take someone and go out in the gym and go, let me see you squat. Let me see you pick up this kettlebell. Let me see.
And like you said, it's on both gyms, right?
Yeah, so we split right now. One doctor jumps back and forth every other day, both gyms.
Okay. Do you have a Dre equivalent in Purcellville?
Yeah. Mike up there. Our
Mike?
boy Mike Jeffries. He's a monster up there.
I need to go hit that. I need to go hit that location just to go check it out. I want to go check it out.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. It's a completely different feel, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's an old building instead of a brand new building.
Okay.
But our big that we keep it clean and organized, and we're big on
the one thing I gotta give you kudos on is the keeping it clean. The gym is always spotless.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that to me,
because you throw yourself on the ground.
Oh yeah.
You're like, you do a burpee, you're on the ground. You're doing sit-ups, you're on the ground. There's so many things that you do on the ground that keeping the gym clean is so important.
Yeah.
And you guys do a great job.
And I gotta think, I can't take credit for that anymore. My coaches now handle that, and we have systems and stuff set up for it. And but the thing is that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
It's that coaching people is hard, and getting in people's psyche is hard, and motivating people is hard, and all this stuff. But what anyone can do is scrub floors and clean equipment and stuff, and people notice.
Right.
Absolutely, people notice. I get compliments all the time, and I know if I get 10 compliments, there's 25 people that notice. So,
sure. That's good. Yeah, everybody noticed. It was one of the first things. It's funny because my wife and I are very particular. It's one of the first things I told her after my first time I went to your gym. I was like, one of the first thing I told her was, "And it's clean, honey. And you're gonna be able to get on the floor."
I get a lot of gyms that they're not clean, and I feel for them because it's a lot of work.
I'm sure it is.
It's roughly it's 1 to 2 hours a day,
Yep.
every day.
Yep.
7 days a week. It's not.
I can just tell you that I know it's a lot of work, but we do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure the members, even if they don't say it, they think it.
Yeah.
They're happy that it's clean. And
Yeah.
if they go to another one, they'll notice that it's not just it's not all, they're not all like that.
When
So,
people travel, they're like they come back because a lot of times this whole functional training and stuff is still relatively new. A lot of times we're the first style gym like that people have been in.
right.
So then they travel for work or something, and then I'm gonna drop in this other gym. They come back, they go, I never want to go to another gym.
I get up, there's like
Yeah.
stuff all over myself. Yeah.
Or the coaching. Or
the coaching. Yeah, which is another thing I wanted to touch on was the coaching. How do you ensure that your coaches are well trained and that they follow your philosophy?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've written now a couple versions of our SOPS manual, Standard Operating Procedure Manual, which is important. We do want to grow. We have 2 locations. We're gonna get to 4 in Loudoun County. Just hard to hire right now.
Yeah.
But
I called dibs on the third one. You better be in Leesburg.
I
want it to be close to my house.
That's where it's gotta be. That's where it's gonna be. We just need the personnel. Let's say everything else is in line. I just need the people. So we're hiring.
He's hiring. Don't worry. I'm gonna put the link to your site, social media, number, everything is gonna be on the link at the bottom. So don't worry about it. People will be able to reach you either to join or for coaches.
Yeah. We have great people right now. Our team is stronger than it's ever been by far. Mm-hmm. We got a wide age range on our team, which I love. It's diverse because sometimes it's hard. I have a great coach, Max, in Purcellville, and she's young. She's 22. So sometimes it's harder for younger athletes to understand maybe what a 65-year-old is feeling, right? And especially if that 22-year-old is a beast.
That's true.
But we got Ma, who's 60.
Yeah.
And she is just my favorite example, and also my best training partner I've ever had. I have to give credit to.
Oh, really?
She lasted with me for over a year straight, 6 days a week. We didn't miss, and I never had anyone last that long. So
kudos to her.
Yeah.
For putting up with you for a while. I'm just kidding.
Oh no, absolutely putting up with me. We're talking years ago too. I was not. I didn't have the patience. I don't think. But we have a wide range of coaches, and
I've been impressed with the coaches. I mean, it's been pretty great.
You can tell everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
And they actually don't communicate a ton because they know what each other wants and needs help with this, and you take this person and all. So once you create those systems, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
And watch your team.
And I'm telling you, and they pay attention to the people. I feel like I'm asked by all 4 of them every time I'm there. Like Laura's teaching the class, but I feel like Ma comes to me for something. Ashley, because she's probably going to teach the class the next day, the following one, and she's always. Dre will look at me and say, it just feels like everybody's paying attention to you. It just feels weird. It feels like and I'm like, how is that possible? You have like 50 people here, but then I look around and I notice them do it the same thing to everybody. So it just feels great, honestly.
Yeah, and it's just about the people. It's the team. I've spent a lot of time coaching, former employees that, they just maybe didn't naturally get it as easily or understand that it's a ton of work. But it's just so rewarding to people don't even understand how bad they feel or how poorly they move, or they're so used to the back and knee and shoulder and neck pain that they're in that they just assume, and everyone.
And a lot of times they don't even think that there's anything they can do anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And everyone they know is in the same pain. And so
they think it's a normal part of getting old.
Exactly. They go, oh well, no, I'm just.
I'm already.
That's not true.
I'm 47, Nate.
Look,
I'm gonna edit that.
You see that good shot.
I will definitely edit that. I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah. You look good, but you're active. You
I
stay
try to
active.
stay active, yeah.
They say, there's a lot of studies and stuff that even if you eat poor, you smoke, you drink, you whatever you do, but if you just at least stay consistently active
Mhm.
and push yourself, through some workouts on a regular basis, that you can do a lot to really offset a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not, of course, saying.
No, you're not endorsing smoking, drinking. But yeah, I get your point.
Just gotta move.
So now tell me a little bit about how you guys dealt with the pandemic. Did it hit you guys? I mean, obviously it hit just most people hard. But how did you guys cope with it?
Yeah, I mean, of course we were in that group that had to shut down, government shut down for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. You were mandatory. You had to shut down.
Yeah.
Had to shut down.
All kinds of rules and this and that, and there was so much gray area around that time about what is the right thing to do. Do you lay off all your employees and then have them collect unemployment? Is that better? But then maybe you lose someone, or will they still help you? Because now we still have to find a way to pay our bills because my landlord's still waiting for his.
Wow, yeah, that's tough.
And then so now all of a sudden me and Laura are doing stuff, and it ended up working out. Long story short, it was a tough time, but our coaches, we all came together. We did online workouts. Every day, multiple times a day. Again, it would have been so easy to just roll over, like a lot of businesses.
A lot of businesses had to roll over.
I mean, some of them absolutely had to.
Yeah.
And it was even the smart decision. But, especially in the gym world, there was a lot of bailouts, in my opinion. I think there was a lot of people who were on the edge of, like, I'm tired. We're able to pay our bills, but I'm not making a ton of money. I'm working 12 hours a day.
Right.
I'm coaching 7 classes a day. And they're like, maybe this is it. And it was for a lot of gyms.
Right.
And I feel for them. But at the same time, with a 3-month shutdown, we had the best year we ever had.
Right.
Because we pivoted, we hustled. So we have extra time. We're doing marketing. We're doing
good.
All of a sudden now we offer in-home personal training.
Right.
We do? Sure. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Like
you had the time, so why not?
Time, like the resource. We're doing parking lot workouts. We're doing workouts in people's
courts. As you started reopening, you started doing the parking lot stuff, or as it was
while we were
down?
closed.
Oh, okay.
They couldn't do anything about random people getting together outside as long as
they were distancing.
Yeah. So. Okay, we're gonna. If you'll keep your membership going, we will run these classes, and again, you just do everything you can to survive. And we ended up having the best year we had, and this year's looking even better.
Right. So that's good. So you took a negative, turned it into a positive, regroup, and
it made us stretch, and it gave us some confidence too. It's like. For people with their anxiety and this and that, if you got a small business and you survived a pandemic, that's a worldwide situation. Like, literally, I don't know what gets too much worse than that besides, some serious catastrophic stuff. But that's pretty catastrophic.
That's pretty catastrophic. That's about as bad as I've seen anything get.
When I would, any anxieties that a normal young business owner that has it all on the line, on our stuff, we don't owe a ton of money, but we own the property in Purcellville and stuff. Like because we're not huge, wealthy money in the bank, like we had to put our house up. We had to put everything's on the line, right? So you just double down. You just work, and rather than find an excuse, find a solution.
Work harder, get there.
Yeah. There's 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
And how many hours you watching Netflix and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's impressive that how you guys have been able to pull this through, and not only are you guys doing well, you guys are thriving.
Now, we're really thriving, and what's nice, besides needing to hire, which is a good problem.
Yeah.
But we have people in place with awesome marketing, with Amy Bosley, big shout out. Without her and those systems that we have for getting material, and we're brainstorming, and things are just really coming together nicely, and just having the team. It used to just be me, Laura, and Ma
Right.
for years.
Right.
It was like I coach, you coach, you coach,
Yeah.
and then I mop, and that was
taking
it.
turns doing everything from marketing to mopping.
Yeah, and then training.
And training. Yeah.
On top of it, and trying to, we were so small in the beginning. I mean, it was like put the team on your back. Like me, and Laura and Ma were like, we have to coach, then we got to work out, and not only do we have to work out, we have to kill this workout to inspire
Right.
these other people to even see what's attainable.
Right.
And like just anything you can do to benefit, any positive, just throw it in the category. Try to do it.
Nice.
So that's.
But I mean, you went through it. You
we
came out better.
We came out. The team is, like I said, the team is so strong, and it just gave us, I think, a level of confidence, and I think it gave the public confidence in us as well. We're winning Loudoun's Best the last few years. And then they see, a couple gyms in both towns go out of business. We're absorbing some members,
right.
And we're absorbing them well, and the gym is still clean, and the coaching is still good.
Yeah, I argue if anybody tries your gym, they're not leaving.
No,
I mean it's a great place, to be.
Yeah, I know several other gym owners in the area, and we're cool, and they have great gyms, and you can check them out, but. I think we have a great place.
I agree.
I actually am confident enough. I usually encourage people to go check out, because then they usually
they can compare. Yeah.
Sometimes,
they can compare.
Like I said, when we're the only one, sometimes they may have things to say until they have
something to compare it to, especially for new ones, right? For new people to this kind of training. If they're trying out new places, it's good so they can see.
It's hard for people to understand the value in it if they've never played a sport, or at least haven't in any recent amount of time, and have never worked out and stuff, and $185, $200, whatever a month for the group classes can seem insane, but when the value, like you're saying, you're basically getting small group personal training. It's individually modified.
It's almost individualized, and if you think about, it's super cheap in my opinion, because if you think about what personal trainer will charge you per hour. Yeah. What is a personal trainer?
We're $90 an hour personal training.
That is 2 hours.
That's 2 hours, yes, exactly. 2 hours for your group class, so you can come 7 days a week, or 2 hours of personal training.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we have plenty of personal training, and those people get amazing results.
There's no question that they get amazing results. But if you're starting out, if you want to get through some things and you're starting out, I mean, just do the membership.
You cannot get a better bang for the buck.
You cannot. And again, it is intimidating because the difference is that people tend to compare it to LA Fitness, or compare the membership at LA Fitness or Lifetime or this place. It's not the same. No. You pay less per month to those places, but you're on your own. If you want somebody to help you with anything, it's going to cost you $90 for 1 hour.
Oh yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So you're paying less, but you're really with you. You have people there all the time. You can ask questions. They're going to help you. They're going to teach you.
And not charge you for it.
And on top of that, you have the community aspect of it, which is very underrated. Supportive. Yeah. Everybody's. In fact, I've never been in a place where the person in last place gets cheered on the most.
Yeah,
so when we're doing a workout, the person who's like at the end is the one that gets cheered on the most. It's incredible.
Yeah. And everybody, we have little rules like don't clean up till everyone is done. It's just a respect.
Yeah, respect. You're there to watch everybody else finish. That way, it's a community. You did it together. It feels good. It feels really good.
And the coaches, again, everyone should be ending around the same time. So we're. The example for that is we're helping them scale their movements. So we're doing front squats in the workout at 185 pounds. Maybe I'm doing 185 and someone else is doing air squats.
Air squats.
It doesn't matter as long as it's your you know,
everybody finishes around the same time, and they all feel like they did the same workout.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's just that somebody used less weights or the movement was scaled a little bit different, and that's it. But everybody feels like they did the same workout, the same length, and finished together. It's very underrated, honestly.
I always feel so, I feel bad. So many people I know, there's so many people out there that are so close, because I see how many hits our website gets and stuff. And we get plenty of leads and stuff, but we get way more website hits than leads, of course. And I know there's people that have been there before. I see recurring hits and stuff, and they're just looking. They're trying to convince themselves.
Yeah, they won't take that extra step.
And let me tell how many people I've sat with that are like, I've been looking at your content for years, trying to get myself in shape to come in, or that's, first of all, that's never worked. People tell me, I'm going to just go.
If you're listening now and you've been surfing that site or whatever, just trust me, just go.
Yeah.
Just go. It's going to make all the difference.
We've helped people lose hundreds of pounds. We've helped people lose 100 pounds more than once, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
We've helped, we're here to help.
Yeah.
It's not a macho thing.
They are.
That's another one, is I think people, oh no, that's a place where they're trying to make power lifters and this and that. We do some powerlifting. We have some powerlifters, but again, we have 70-year-olds that are just trying to get off the ground a little better and lose a couple pounds.
Right.
And the truth is that for our general classes, that's our bread and butter.
Right.
I think that's what motivates a lot of people. Some of the performance stuff, when you're talking group classes, CrossFit type stuff, that's cool. Get your muscle up, but I tell you, there's nothing better than when you had someone come in on their first day and they can't even do a bodyweight squat, and stuff, and then 2 months later you're looking at them and they're doing front squats with a barbell and they look good.
Right.
You're like, that's cool. You put years on that person's quality of life, right? That's what slows people down as they get older, is they're just not moving. And not moving because everything freaking hurts.
Yeah.
And
the less you move it, the more it stays constricted, so it's tougher to even move around the longer you stay. Yeah, it is.
But the positive side is cyclical too. You start exercising, you start thinking better, you start sleeping better, you're motivated then, because you're putting in all this energy in your exercise, you're motivated then to eat better.
Right.
To maybe drink less, or stop smoking, or drink water instead of soda, and this and that, because you start going, well, if I'm going to sweat for an hour every day or whatever, right? I don't want to only get, that's what I tell people, if you're not eating right, you're not sleeping, not doing all the other things, you just killed yourself in that workout.
Right.
And I appreciate and respect that. But then you go home and you don't eat. And
you did it. You did a lot of it.
You only got 30% of the benefit of that workout instead of 100 or 90%, right? Yeah. So do you want to do that to yourself?
No.
People, when you put it in that perspective, you get a lot.
And especially when you've done it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so hard. Yeah. You work that hard and then you undo by doing all these other bad things when you get home.
And a lot of it that we find, rather than doing bad things, is people not doing things. Like, I hear a lot of times people take it as a point of pride of like, I finished the workout last night and I got home, wasn't even hungry, went to sleep.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's not good. What?
Eat something. Put something good in you.
Exactly.
Right?
You're either in a catabolic or anabolic state. You're either growing muscle or it's eating muscle to survive.
Right.
There's no in between. There's no neutral. That you're one or the other.
Right.
So going to bed hungry, you're
not
eating up muscles. And the muscle is what burns the fat, and that's another one that we get sometimes. Is people, I'm not trying to be bulky, and that's male and female. To be honest, and
mostly females though, right? Like females don't. They look at this kind of work and they're like, I don't want to be like that.
And
like really,
I always tell them it's so wonderful to have Laura around. I'm like, you know my wife, right? Like, oh yeah. I let them. I'm like, she looks pretty good, right? Oh yeah, she looks great. She's all cutting. Yeah, well, she works out like twice a day. Yeah. Eats better than you probably ever will, and and she's not bulky.
Sleeps water.
Better, drink everything.
Yeah, everything.
And she's not
for
bulky.
3,000 days in a row, she's not. I'm just kidding. She
know?
has loved her stuff.
It's like almost insulting though. Like
Yeah.
I've had people tell me like, I'm like, I think you should go up on weight on that. I don't want these shoulders to get. You think you did 5 shoulder presses?
And now you're
You're
not
wake
gonna
up
fit on your jacket.
Yeah, you're gonna need all new clothes. You know, I've been doing this for 15 years. You know, it takes time.
Some serious, lifting to get that big. Yeah.
And then of course, females lacking the amount of testosterone, of course, that we have, which helps us exponentially grow muscle.
Right.
You know, so there's genetic stops there as well.
Right.
But so ladies, don't worry, just train.
Train.
Stay strong.
Yeah.
Beat your boyfriends up.
It's okay. They can take it.
Yeah. Or if they can't, then find a new one.
All right. So listen. So if you are looking to get started, if you feel like you want to lose a few more pounds so you can look good in the summer, if you are young and looking to get strong, if you're an athlete already and just looking to get that extra burst, it doesn't matter where you are in this journey. I encourage you to contact my boy here, Nate, and at Noble. They're amazing people, amazing coaches, great programming. I'm going to put all the contact information down here on this link, but go ahead and tell them where your 2 locations are and give me a phone number and a website so that people can contact you.
So, like we're saying, we got the gym in Sterling. We got one in Purcellville on the west end, right across from the golf course. Great location there off Main Street. And then that's Noble Athletics, N as in Nancy. And Optimized, our chiropractic, right inside there. So you don't have to go searching for that. They're basically connected in both gyms. And joinnoble.com.
Joinnoble.com.
There. And Optimized Wellness VA is our website for the chiropractic. So, you know, check it out. You got nothing to lose. We do free evals for Noble and the chiropractic. You know, biggest thing that, like I said, is if you're waking up in pain, just stop. Yeah. Don't stop waking up, but just come in. Just come in, and they're going to help you with that. Whatever it is, there is a solution. I promise. It's not normal, and there is a way. There's a path forward. For you to get better. So, I've seen some awesome stuff. We like making it happen. Yep. All right. So thank you, Nathan, for coming to the show today. Thank you guys for listening. And again, all of his contact information is going to be below. If for whatever reason you need to get in touch with him and you can somehow, just let me know and I'll put you guys in contact. But yeah, Nathan is amazing. Noble Athletics. Give him a try. All right. Thank you.